Hey guys, looking for new beat-em-up games? Then you've come to the right place. We're starting the list with Tenet of the Spark, a cinematic action game that promises a rich narrative experience and a unique combat system. The game follows the story of Will, a former professional boxer who returns to his hometown to deal with his past and confront those seeking revenge or exploitation. The story of Tenet of the Spark revolves around Will's redemption. After a tragic event in the ring, he flees his hometown, leaving behind painful relationships and memories. Now he returns to try to repair the damage of the past and find his place in the world. The main mechanic is the ability to switch between three perspectives: Will, a Viking, and an Aztec warrior. The combat is similar to games like Sifu for its focus on martial arts and fluidity, while the narrative and aesthetics are reminiscent of Spider-Man for its visuals and dynamic transitions between worlds. Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds Ultimate is a complete remaster of the classic beat-em-up Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds, originally released in 2013. Developed and published by Rocket Panda Games, the game is being rebuilt from the ground up using Unreal Engine 5, promising enhanced visuals, refined gameplay mechanics, and a host of new features. The story takes place in Tokyo, where a mysterious man named Phantom seeks to recover his sealed powers. He grants weapons called FA, Few Mention Artifact, to talented young people, encouraging them to fight with the promise of granting their wishes to the winners. To make matters worse, Waka's younger sister Nagi is kidnapped by Phantom. Itsuki, who yearns to become a hero of justice, and Yuzuha, a ninja who escaped Phantom's seduction, also join the fight, and the four girls embark on a mission to find Phantom and save Nagi. Double Dragon Revive is a new beat-em-up game that promises to revive the iconic franchise from the 1980s. The game is being developed by Arc System Source, known for titles like Dragon Ball FighterZ and Yuks, which has experience in wrestling games like AEW Fight Forever. The Double Dragon series is known for its cooperative gameplay and intense combat, where players control the brothers Billy and Jimmy Lee, masters of martial arts, in a fight against street gangs to rescue loved ones. The series takes place in a post-apocalyptic urban setting and combines intense combat, improvised weapons, and cooperation. Unlike a simple button masher, the combat emphasizes strategy. Players need to learn enemy patterns, choose the right time to attack, and adapt their tactics.
さあ行こう。修行の成果を見るとしよう。これで終わらせる。やっと俺の出番だぜ。楽しんでいこうじゃないの。朝飯前だぜ。足りねえ。もっと強敵を俺に食わせろ。創設権とかいうやつを俺に見せてみろ。無敵だぜ。生きのいいやつらだ。実験体に最適だな。お前たちに恨みはないが、ここを守るのが俺の仕事なんだな。
どうされると痛いかな。私が排除します。
City of Rampage is a side-scrolling game set in a cyberpunk and dystopian environment. The game features hand-drawn graphics, an immersive soundtrack, and a rich story. Players can expect intense combat with challenging enemies, and even more difficult bosses. The game is a classic beat-em-up, where players control a character and fight against hordes of enemies. The game features advanced combat mechanics that allow players to perform combos and special attacks. Hand-drawn art with a comic book-inspired aesthetic brings a vibrant and colorful look reminiscent of 90s games. The game focuses on intense combat against multiple enemies with advanced fighting mechanics that include punches, combos, dodges, like rolls, and special attacks. Yakuza 0 Director's Cut is an enhanced version of the acclaimed Yakuza 0, which will be released exclusively for the Nintendo Switch 2. This edition offers an even more complete experience, with new story scenes, a brand new online multiplayer mode, and several improvements to make the experience more engaging. Considered one of the best games in the series for its engaging narrative, deep character development, and balance between serious drama and eccentric activities, Yakuza 0 was instrumental in popularizing the franchise in the West. The Director's Cut edition expands on the original game with new content and technical improvements, taking advantage of the Nintendo Switch 2 hardware. The game has been optimized to run at 60 FPS with a resolution of up to 4K in TV mode when the Switch 2 is connected to a dock.
My strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, oh. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite.
Marvel Cosmic Invasion is a new cooperative fighting game that promises to take players on an action-packed interplanetary adventure filled with iconic Marvel characters. The game is a tribute to one of Marvel's most memorable eras, with vibrant pixelated graphics that evoke nostalgia and a classic style. The game takes place in a universe in danger, where the villain Annihilus, the Walking Dead, launches an unprecedented attack that threatens to destroy all life. To stop the Annihilation Wave, a group of heroes, including Nova, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Phyla-Vell, Captain America, and many others, join forces in an epic battle that spans the stars. Marvel Cosmic Invasion is a beat-em-up that offers a cooperative experience for up to 4 players. Players can team up locally or online to face enemies and defeat the Annihilation Wave. The game features an adaptive system that allows players to join and leave the game at any time, ensuring that the action continues to flow without interruption. Spine is a single-player action game that focuses on close-range gunfights with the aesthetics of gun fu movies. Developed and published by Neki, The game is set in a cyberpunk world and is scheduled to be released in late 2025 for PC via Steam, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series. In Spine, players take on the role of Redline, a rebellious street artist equipped with a sentient combat implant called Spine. Together, they challenge an autocratic AI regime in search of Redline's captured brother. The narrative explores a dystopian near future, contrasting the utopian facade of the city controlled by the AI Tensor with the decaying streets and the struggle of the resistance. The gameplay of Spine is centered on close-range combat with firearms, combined with beat-em-up elements. Players can perform stylish combos, disarm enemies, and use the environment to their advantage. Redline also has parkour abilities and can use her spray paint to temporarily blind enemies. Rushing Beat X, Return of Brawl Brothers, is a new chapter in the classic beat-em-up series Rushing Beat, originally released by Jaleco for the Super Nintendo in the 1990s. Developed and published by City Connection, which acquired the rights from Jaleco, the game is scheduled to be released in 2025. Players can vary throws with different commands, including moves that launch enemies against the background, destroying objects and revealing items. Stages vary between urban locations like shopping malls, slums, subways, and research facilities, with side missions that offer additional challenges, such as objectives based on specific actions or stage gimmicks. Unlike the 2D sprites of the original games, Rushing Beat X adopts a 3D look with a comic book aesthetic, using polygonal models. The game is being designed to be friendly to newcomers with simplified controls, but also offers depth for veterans through the system of canceling and customized combos.
Kahlua, subject of the cyberclone incident.
Kiborg is a cyberpunk-themed roguelite beat-em-up developed by Sobaka Studio, which will be released on April 30th, 2025 for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, Xbox One, and PC via Steam. The game puts players in the role of Morgan Lee, a prisoner unjustly sentenced to 1,300 years on a maximum security prison planet. His only chance of freedom is to participate in the entertainment program The Last Ticket, broadcast by Cable's Galactica. Morgan Lee was accused of war crimes he did not commit, being sentenced to a brutal punishment on a prison planet. To escape prison, he must win the Last Ticket program. The game explores the journey of Morgan Lee as he fights for freedom and seeks justice for his unjust conviction. Kiborg offers a frantic and brutal combat experience, with roguelite elements that ensure intense and unpredictable gameplay. Players start with melee attacks, but can acquire firearms and cybernetic enhancements as they progress.
At the arenas, witness the carnage, experience the thrill. Will Morgan Lee survive the last ticket, or will he become just another statistic? Tune in this cycle to the Last Ticket, only on Cable Galactica. Kiborg in hands.
Stick It to the Stickman is a physics-based action and beat-em-up roguelike game developed by Free Lives and published by Devolver Digital. Scheduled for release in 2025 on Steam, the game promises a chaotic, fun, and acid-humored experience with intense combat and a dystopian corporate setting. The game puts you in the shoes of a disgruntled office worker, a stickman, who seeks to climb the corporate ladder of the worst company in the United States, fighting to become the company's president. The game focuses on beat-em-up with melee attacks, such as punches, kicks, headbutts, and low blows, literally like kicks in the groin. The campaign involves facing hordes of enemies in different branches of the company, with each area introducing new enemies, bosses, weapons, and mechanics. There is variety in the scenarios and objectives, such as battles against giant bosses or missions to acquire rival companies.
Submit your application.
Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch is an arcade-style fighting game with side-scrolling, where players control Jay and Silent Bob, switching between them in real time or performing special moves simultaneously with a friend. The game features a hand-drawn visual style, inspired by classic NES games. The art is vibrant and detailed, perfectly capturing the personality of each character. The gameplay is fluid and intuitive, with a combat system that allows players to perform combos and special moves. Chronic Blunt Punch offers single-player and two-player split-screen game modes. The game also features Steam achievements and controller support. The cooperative experience allows players to have fun together, switching between Jay and Silent Bob to defeat enemies and face challenging bosses. Axe of Blood is a third-person action game in the beat-em-up genre, developed and published by Exil Team, with a focus on fast, brutal, and visceral melee combat. The story revolves around Hendra, a law student who sees his life crumble when his family is murdered by his father's business rival. Abandoned by a corrupt legal system that protects the guilty, Hendra discovers that there is a powerful group behind the attack. Axe of Blood is centered on intense and dynamic combat, with a mix of melee attacks, firearms, and strategic movement mechanics. The player controls Hendra in linear levels, facing hordes of enemies and powerful bosses. While still in development, Axe of Blood has generated anticipation for its raw and direct approach to the beat-em-up genre, with an engaging story and combat that promises to evolve until release. Well, that was the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and see you next time.